So I have just had a little breakthrough, and I feel like I've been in a stage in my life where I'm kind of creating a lot of breakthroughs. And I say creating because I am genuinely, consciously making these transformations in my life and these breakthroughs. And I just had a massive meltdown today. Surprise, surprise, if you followed me for a while, you know I'm very honest about the bad days that I have. In some of my videos, I'm even having mental breakdowns. So today was very rough. I am very grateful that I do take meds. I know there's a lot of people out there, especially in the healing and spiritual community, that do not support meds, and I was one of them. But the severity of kind of how it can be when I switch like that, I'm very grateful to have the meds that I'm on that I just take as needed when I have these extreme lows, and they restabilize me. And actually, they have been guiding me into a deeper understanding of life through restabilizing my mind. So, breakthrough. Let's talk about my breakthrough today, guys, which had a big deal. It had a lot to do with my mental breakdown because during my mental breakdown, as anybody who has a mental breakdown knows, often your thoughts turn very negative, and it's a really revealing to what's going on inside of you and what more negative beliefs you might hold about yourself and your life. And today, my mental breakdown was just I kind of felt like I wanted to shut everybody out in my life. Didn't want new friends. I felt like, well, everything fails in my life, like, and then I was just like begging the universe, please, like, let this place, let these relationships that I'm building now work out because I feel so broken from everything that hasn't and everything that doesn't. And I think a lot of people who watch my videos relate to this discouragement and disappointment when it feels like life is just kind of beating the shit out of you. And for me, for instance, I've been nomadic, semi nomadic, whatever you want to call it. I've lived now in California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Utah, and now I'm in Arizona. And in a lot of the places I've lived, there is just this trail of brokenness and heartbreak and endings and separation and fear and just deep hurt and betrayal and all of that. And when you've gone through all of that stuff, when you've been through bad trauma in your life, sometimes you carry those beliefs with you that it's just always going to be like that. And I just had this little breakthrough today during my meltdown. Well, probably, I mean, I would say I'm still kind of in the meltdown, but towards the end of it. And I'd gotten this book from the library. It's called Look Within by Gary Ged Gleason. Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. I got this from the library because it seemed really cool. And I've been reading more books like this. And I just decided I was going to start reading this because I was in the zone, listening to my headphones, just crying it out, feeling it out. I restabilized immensely. And I start reading this book, and in the front of it, let me see if I can find it. Okay, so I'm going to quote this. It says, "Many are unable to accept that how we think, speak, and act can and often is our own worst enemy in life." And after that, it says, "Stop, pause, and reflect." And I was just sitting there thinking about the situation and like that I was having a mental breakdown over, which I'm not going to give a lot of details, but it's a broken friendship basically that seems to me is based in a massive misunderstanding. And I just started like beating myself up over every possibility of what I could have done to hurt this person. And honestly, I'm in a pretty big state of confusion about what exactly happened. It kind of is coming as a shock to me. And so I'm reading this. Many are unable to accept that how we think, speak, and act can and often is our own worst enemy in life. And I just kind of start berating myself. And then I realized that's not what it's trying to say. It's trying to tell me to stop. Stop berating myself. Stop sitting here and allowing my purpose, I guess, even to be consumed with dread and delusions of like nothing ever working out for me. That's what this is talking about. Like, being my own worst enemy has to do with me sitting there feeling broken and thinking to myself that this isn't gonna work out for me, or what if it doesn't work out for me, because I wasn't necessarily thinking this isn't. I was kind of just begging, like, please let these things, these good things happening in my life, please let them work out for me. And then this song also came on by Aviva. I don't know if that's right how to pronounce it, but it's called Own Worst Enemy. Same type of concept. And I just realized that I can make this work for me. If this is where I want it to work for me, if these are the relationships, certain people in my life are relationships that I want to work for me, then I can do that. I'm powerful enough. I'm powerful enough to do that. I'm not completely helpless to life. And yes, sometimes things don't work out. Like they often have. Things have not worked out very greatly out of my control. But now I am in a place where I am extremely grateful for the medication I am on, because I know that it's not for everyone, and it's not necessarily the first thing that I will ever encourage even taking them. I am working towards having a somewhat normal lifestyle, and I don't mean normal in like a boring, addicted to work kind of a way, always chasing the bag and like whatever stereotype, brainwash, all of that, the societal standards. I'm not talking about normal like that. I'm talking normal as in I can keep a job. I can keep relationships. I can do this. There are certain people that, yes, I'm going to let go in life, and I'm going to choose that is not what I want to build with and work with, and that's okay. That might happen in future jobs and other opportunities and places I might be in life. But my breakthrough is that if I want it, I can create it. If somewhere feels good to be, or someone feels good to be with, then I can keep that. I can grow with that. So that's kind of like the magical little breakthrough I had. And I also, okay, this is kind of funny, guys. I was stepping out of my car out here to get some coolant. I have a little bit of a large coolant leak. But outside of my car, what do I see but a penny? It wasn't, I mean, I consider every penny lucky if you find it, you know. But yeah, I found a lucky penny, but it was tails up. So sometimes I used to always just flip the tails up one, so there'd be a lucky penny, a heads up for somebody else. And then like a year or two ago, I decided, you know what, they're lucky either way. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to accept the joy and abundance of having another lucky penny in my life, even if it's tails up. But this time I flipped it. I went into the store, and when I came back out, I'd forgotten that I'd flipped this coin. So when I saw it on the ground, heads up, I got so excited and was like, it's a lucky penny. Right after I just kind of had this breakthrough epiphany, and then I realized I can create my own luck. I can create my own joy. I can take a situation that is beautiful, flip it around, and make it even more beautiful. I can take something, flip it around that I might not think is for me, and make it for me. I have the power to create in my life. And maybe it's not always going to feel like that. And maybe I'm going to falter at times. And sometimes it's going to suck. And sometimes I'm going to be afraid. But I can create my own success. And who gives a fuck if it takes a little bit longer or a lot longer than certain other people? Who cares if I have to move slower? I can create the life that I want, where I want, with who I want. Yes, I will still be in a state of surrender, but I also want to be in a state of self-responsibility that is not just all about putting myself down for failures or the ways that I'm not successful in life or the things that aren't working out for me. Taking responsibility for how powerful I am. Taking responsibility for the positive traits in myself. Taking responsibility for what I can accomplish in my life. Taking responsibility for what I don't want to give up on, even when it's difficult or even when I feel discouraged. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to share that with you. By the way, my name is Charisse. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. Please do like and subscribe. Love that shit. But yeah, guys. And also now I'm reading on my little wall over here. I don't know if you can see it right here. It says, no matter what happens, it'll be great. I'm pretty sure that was an affirmation that I learned from Abraham Hicks. Maybe. Which I am not a super crazy avid listener to her. But I do love a lot of the things that she has to say. The truth sets me free. Good things happen to and for me. I am capable, guys. And you're capable too. I think that I feel like I'm in a place in life where I am breaking free from an old way of being and believing of what I was even capable of. And yes, I use certain tools and medicines to help guide me through this. But this is like a big fucking deal to me, guys. Like, I realize, you know what? I know I'm still gonna have bad days. And I know I'm gonna have mental breakdowns. And I know sometimes I might give up on things. And that's okay. But I want to believe that things are working out for me. Even when other things are falling apart in my life, perhaps. Even when I'm losing friends or other opportunities in my life are being cut off, I am still deserving and capable of things working out for me. I am still worthy and capable of my life being in flow, and perhaps the things that are flowing out of my life don't belong. Perhaps there are things that are there for me to work through and for deeper growth. But I don't want to give up right now. And that's kind of magical to me because in a lot of places and situations I've been in, I just don't want to be there. I didn't want to be a part of it. So now it's like finding somewhere and finding people that I want to be a part of. No, I'm not saying that people in my past I didn't want to be a part of. There are still people in my past that are still a beautiful part of my life. But if I want to be a part of a certain community or a place or a job or a friendship or a relationship, I can do that. And I don't want to live in fear of the ending because honestly, that is so disempowering. It makes me feel helpless sometimes to think of kind of like, the meaninglessness and that everything ends. It can be really draining to always only be thinking about that, rather than thinking about the new beginnings and how much is starting and what beautiful path might be unfolding before me. So yeah, maybe I still need to incorporate a little bit more of a level of acceptance and letting go of things that I want to cling to that maybe don't belong in my life. But also, I think I really need to incorporate the aspect of myself that is receptive to the love I am receiving in my life from certain people and environments. It's okay to feel like you belong. I think that I am definitely the type of person that, like, sometimes people kind of have to get used to. I can be real quiet. Honestly, I'm not a very opinionated person. I talk about my beliefs and opinions on my channel, but that's pretty much I kind of try to keep most stuff to myself in public conversations. Maybe that's a little bit of people pleasing. So I know that there are certain parts about myself. I can be a little bit unfiltered at times, and I can be a little bit, just a feral, wild woman. And I know that there are people who are going to be uncomfortable with certain things, and I try my best to be sensitive and loving and kind and compassionate to the people in my life and see how I can treat them better if that's ever a problem. But so what if I'm a little bit different? So what if I'm a lot bit different? I'm allowed to belong somewhere. I'm allowed to belong with certain people. I'm allowed to belong. That is a self-empowering belief. Rather than thinking that everything is going to fall apart because I don't belong anywhere and I don't belong with anyone. It hurts. It hurts so much to carry that around like your whole life. To feel like you will never have a home. To feel like you will never have a place or a person that will make you feel safe and like you don't want to run away. That's a big one for me, guys. But I realize I can create that. That's my choice. It's my choice to run away from the beautiful and good things that are happening for me just because of the fear of it might end anyway. Or the fear of growing. Some things might require a lot of growth. Whether it's jobs or relationships or places. Some places might require an immense amount of growth for you to be there. But that's not a bad thing. And you're allowed to grow and create roots and belong places. You're allowed to receive the good things in your life without always having to be afraid of the end. Wow. That is like a dynamic shift in me right now. I went from feeling deeply hurt and wounded and confused and chaotic and just like giving up and blocking everybody out and just not doing anything towards anything, that downward spiral where you don't feel fucking good. I went from that to being like, no, I get to be powerful. I get to decide the life that I want to live. I get to decide the types of relationships that I want in my life. I can make things work out for me. I can make relationships and jobs and all of that shit. I can make it all work out for me, even if other things in my life are falling apart. Just because other things in my life are falling apart does not mean that everything else is going to crumble with it. Maybe. Sometimes that is kind of how it is. Shit. I don't even know what to say to that because honestly it sucks, but at the same time it's such a crazy growing opportunity. But while you're in it, you just fucking kind of hate it most of the time. Maybe not. I guess right now you'd think I'm actually feeling a lot better. So shit, guys. That's what I wanted to share with you. It feels really good right now, honestly, just being out of the city, because if you've been watching me for a while, you knew I lived in Salt Lake City for like 6 months. And And the city was really rough for me. I grew up around Sacramento, which is a very large city, but I don't do well in cities. I'm very sensitive energetically, and I just couldn't do it. It was extremely overwhelming. I was always having panic attacks, so I moved out into the middle of the desert in Arizona, and I've been here for almost 2 months. And I've detoxified so much energy, and just to be able to sit here with you guys and share this kind of transformative shift, which I feel like I do a lot of that. I share a lot of my, like, kind of mental shifts. But to me, this one feels especially huge. Because it is. I don't. Like, if you've been there, if you are there, you understand what I mean. That I feel like I have just completely replaced an old belief system that I've carried with me since I was a child of not belonging and of never being able to have a home, of nobody's gonna love me and accept me for who I am. All of these types of things, which I guess stems with the belief of unworthiness, feeling unworthy. That is so cool to be able to sit here and share with you guys literally like the transition that I just made into being like, fuck that. You are worthy as fuck and you are capable and you are self-empowered, Cherise. Get the fuck out of here. You can create the life that you want. You can make it through the things that fall apart and just let those things go and still continue building in the things that aren't. You can still continue building in the amazing things that are happening in your life, even when other parts of it are falling apart. That's my message to me, and maybe that's a great message. Maybe that hit home for somebody else, you know? So, thanks for being here, guys. Just thanks for being here. I'm grateful for this outlet to share, and I hope that I see you next time. We'll see what's gonna happen next in my life, guys. Okay! Woo! That was a fun roller coaster. Holy shit. I love you guys, and I believe in you. And I hope that you have an absolutely amazing and beautiful day. Thanks for being here. Okay. Bye!